Mexican shit. You feel me? Then you got Shakur up there, just looking nervous and timid up there. He looking like Shakur is crazy. If y'all watch Shakur like press conferences over the past several years, like from him being on Top Ranking to the press conference on like here him being with Matchroom Boxing in Turkey. Like if y'all see that, you feel me? Like he cautious on what he say up there. The man literally was talking about to put belt the ass, and then he spells out ass. Like, bro, just say ass. What the fuck you acting all scared for to say ass, bro? Like, what are you talking about? Like, are you shitting me? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it was just wow. So let's talk about it. Of course, the guy that was running the show for us, the press conference and everything. I mean, um, he asked all the guys questions and stuff like that, but specifically, he got into talking about that God. He got into talking about Shakur and Zepeda, and he was asking Shakur, is Shakur going? No, are you going to stand there in the fight? And if you notice, Williams Zepeda and Golden Boy and their team, they're starting to put this whole narrative. They're pushing this narrative about Shakur running and actually standing in the middle of the ring and fighting with Zepeda for this fight. And it's real interesting for me because when they asked Shakur about him fighting with Zepeda in the middle of the ring, Shakur was like, I'm going to do what I got to do to get the job done. Um, what I'm saying? I'm not going to be running. Like, he continues to say that he's not going to run and everything. I mean, and where's the pay that they're just pushing like, yo, you got, hey, don't run, stand in and fight. Stand in the pocket like you did with Josh Padley and fight Williams Zepeda. That's what Williams Zepeda and his team is screaming right now. And shit, Shakur, he shied away from the talk. All he do is keep saying, "Oh, I'm gonna step on him. I'm gonna put belt the ass and everything." And it goes back to what I said in a lot of my Shakur Stevenson content that y'all done seen I did on him. Shakur, we making you stand on this shit, bro. We making you stand on this shit. If you saying you gonna step on Zepeda, put belt the ass, I want to see an all out ass whooping. The thing is about this whole belt the ass and stepping, conversation and talk is the fact that this man Shakur continues to do this time after time, and we ain't seeing none of this shit at 135. All the Shakur fans, they always reminds us of him stepping at 126 and 130. We ain't seen Shakur step at 135. Like he ain't stepping on shit. He ain't putting belt to ass on shit. You know what I'm saying? You got people out here literally up there calling Shakur top. These motherfuckers comparing Shakur to Floyd Mayweather. Y'all continue to do this dumbass shit, which I need to stop this shit, bro. It's real sickening. Cause Shakur ain't making nobody pay at 135. Oh yeah, we gonna cook up today, bro. I was excited. I ain't been live in a few days, so I've been excited. I've been watching all this content, watching everybody, get their shit off, watching the Shakur fans be delusional, watching the Devin Haney fans, watching them be delusional. Like, oh yeah, it's gonna be lit this weekend, bro. The cook up is gonna be crazy all weekend for sure, and it's starting today, right now. Shakur Stevenson, man. They asked him about his hands, and then he shied away about the question about his hands, talking about my hands gonna be good. Then they asked Zepeda about his hands, and Zepeda said, we good to go. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I don't like some of these press conferences like this is because Zepeda don't speak English, so you got to have a translator. And Zepeda sitting there, he kind of calm. Like Zepeda looks confident as hell. Like Zepeda, if you look at Zepeda in the press conference, he looked like he ain't scared of Shakur not one fucking bit. He looked like he know he gonna beat Shakur, and that's something that us fight fans gotta read in between the lines and some of these press conferences. Look at the fighters' demeanor in the press conference. Pay attention to what they say in the press conference. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of fight fans they don't read the room a lot. They don't read between the lines on a lot of these type of things. For as watching these fighters' demeanors and their interviews and the press conference, etc. And seeing, how they moving. I mean, and Zepeda, you said, hey, Sauce said, you think Zepeda looked out of place? Man, I don't think so, bro. He was just sitting there, just calm and just like, I just want to fight. Now Zepeda look like he just want to fight. You know what I mean? Like, you got Shakur, he over there, he looked timid up there, bro. Like, and you right, Ace Austin. Turkey definitely got a muzzle on him. I mean, look what the man didn't apologize to this man. And then Turkey still fucked him over and pushed this man as the co-main event to Edgar Berlanga and Hamza Shiraz. You know what I mean? Like, it's real nasty work. So, but this narrative that the Zepeda team is pushing for Shakur standing in the middle of the ring and actually fighting, I love this shit. I love it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Because this is going to be the conversation all the way up until July 12th. Is Shakur going to run like he did in the Della Santos fight, or he's going to stand in the pocket like he did with Padley and Arnold? That's the question, the big question in this fight with Shakur Stevenson and Williams Zepeda. Shakur, is you gonna be on your boxing track star shit, or you gonna stand and actually fight like a man, stand in the pocket like you was doing with weak ass motherfucking what's his name with Della Santos, or not Della Santos, motherfucker, stand in the pocket and fight like you did with Padley with the electrician. We want to see that. Like, we want to see that, bro, for real. Like, Jag Queen boxing, Zepeda didn't know what was happening. He don't speak English. Yeah, he don't speak English, so it makes the press conference lackluster. You know what I'm saying? And then I understand, some of the factors as far as Turkey having Edgar Berlanga as the main event with Shiraz. Of course, Shiraz, he's a Riyadh seasoned ambassador. He's one of Turkey's guys, and they're trying to promote Shiraz, as much as possible. They really low key want to get Shiraz the Canelo fight for real, because he was fighting at 160, and now Shiraz, this is his first fight at 168 versus Edgar Berlanga, and Edgar Berlanga, they don't care for Edgar Berlanga. You know what I'm saying? They don't care for Edgar Blanco for real. You know what I mean? They just using him just the as a stepping stone for Shiraz to get bigger fights at 168. They think Shiraz, Shiraz, they think Berlanga's sweet over there. They think he's sweet over there. My boy Ace Austin, if you're an ambassador, do you gotta represent Turkey a certain way? No out of pocket disrespect or shit talking, because Berlanga was the only one up there talking shit with no filter. Facts. And getting to that, the only person that really turned up in this whole press conference for real was Edgar Berlanga. Shakur was shy and timid and shit, didn't know what to say for real, stuttering and shit. Williams Zepeda, he just calm sitting there. He don't speak English. He looking bored as fuck for real. Then you got Hamza Shiraz, he just up there just calm as hell. Like, Berlanga had to talk shit to get Shiraz to pop it back at him a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, shit was a little different. You know what I mean? Um, but Edgar Berlanga was in there going crazy, man, talking about he gonna stop Shiraz. You know what I'm saying? Saying that Shiraz, they saying they gonna stop Shiraz in 6, man, which is crazy. Like, that's crazy work. Shiraz is getting stopped by Edgar Berlanga in 6. I'm interested to see it, bro. I'm interested to see it. And Edgar Berlanga's up there talking about, Shiraz, he been spoon fed his whole career and everything, and talking about he from the slums and talking about we doing this for New York and all of this crazy shit. Like, Edgar Berlanga is super delusional as fuck up there, bro. Like, this man thinks he's a superstar. He talking about he fought Canelo the best out of anybody in the last few years and everything, and keep praising himself for being in 12 rounds in a fight with Canelo where he got knocked down in the damn fight and really lost damn near arguably every round. So like this man Edgar Berlanga is crazy. Like, he just fought a couple months ago, fought a fucking Pizza Hut worker that was in jail for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, Edgar Berlanga, bro, your career, matchmaking from Top Rank, the Matchroom, Bro, you ain't fought nobody besides Canelo, bro. Even though you hung in there 12 rounds with Canelo, but Canelo's getting older and he's regressing. Canelo don't have the same power, you know what I'm saying, the same movement. You know what I'm saying? He's not as talented as he was, in recent years. You know what I mean? That's why he's choosing guys like you so he can beat you and move on to the next. That's the fact of the matter. You know what I mean? But Edgar Berlanga's hanging his hat off of this shit, and he thinks he has the chance to get a rematch with Canelo if he beats a Shiraz. You know what I'm saying? Turkey calls mid press conference. Let's talk about that. The man Turkey Al-Sheikh calling mid press conference, bro, and acting like this shit wasn't staged or planned. Bro, this shit was staged. Motherfuckers knew, motherfuckers knew Turkey was gonna call in the middle of the press conference, bro. They knew that shit. This man calling a press conference talking about, oh, this is gonna be big for boxing. This is gonna definitely um be big for the future for future fights and everything. Talking about Shakur, he has Tank on the horizon, and then he says Berlanga Shiraz possibly gets a fight with Canelo, and then he says they're going um Williams Zepeda has a big fight set up for Mexico if he beats Shakur and everything. Like Turkey again, giving out his futuristic potential plans and not knowing that all of these shits don't fall in place and play like that. You know what I'm saying? And then I kind of had to read the room on this situation of the fact that this man literally talking about, Shakur fight with Tank. Like, why y'all gotta talk about Tank in this damn press conference? Like, why y'all bringing up Tank in this press conference, dog? Like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? And then he talking about a big fight in Mexico for Zepeda versus who? Who he gonna fight is in Mexico? You know what I'm saying? Like, and you got to think about it too. Remember, that man Oscar De La Hoya is the same man the other day talking about Golden Boy, PBC, talking about them possibly working together on some shit. And just think about what type of fight they could be working on. Think about it. Think about it. I mean, I don't see it ever fucking happening. But just think about it. Turkey and them, they got plans for Williams Zepeda if he beats Shakur. You know what I'm saying? And and Turkey is obviously definitely trying to, bruh, stop. My dog going crazy over here. So Turkey is obviously mad about the two events that he had a couple weeks ago because he's telling these guys basically like, we can't have these same performances that these guys had a couple weeks ago. Y'all gonna have to fight in this shit. Now he's laying the law down on that shit. You know what I mean? And who could be a big fight for Cepeda in Mexico? Add two and two, Golden Boy PBC. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they trying to try to get Cepeda versus Tank. Obviously, if Cepeda he beats Shakur, Cepeda is one of the top contenders in the WBA, number one in the rankings. You know what I mean? So I better read the room a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, bro, if this fight with Zepeda and Shakur goes to like a close decision, bro, don't be surprised if they get that shit to fucking Zepeda, especially if Shakur ain't duplicating any offense. If he's sitting there running from Zepeda throughout the whole night and not engaging with him, bro, it's gonna be a slow night for fucking Shakur. It's gonna be a slow night because I'm telling you, judge Turkey don't give a fuck about Shakur. He don't give a fuck about him. He's showing you by putting him on the undercard to daggone Edgar Berlanga and Hamza Shiraz. He's showing you by making him publicly apologize to him after Shakur was one of the first guys to expose Turkey for trying to lowball him on paying him. You know what I mean? Like Shakur knows that he knows over there. He got to shut the fuck up when it come up to talking bad about Turkey now, because Turkey he gonna cut his water off. And then daggone Turkey that made this man Shakur a Riyadh season ambassador. What's up with this shit, bro? Because now they got me thinking this shit with Shakur. This man literally is fucking with Turkey a little bit more essentially and more that some of y'all Shakur and fans, y'all portray. Like Shakur, literally, bro. You see how he was all buddy buddy with Eddie Hearn. You see Eddie Hearn over there, dick eating him. You know what I'm saying? Talk about Shakur. He's like Pernell Whitaker and Floyd Mayweather. Like he's probably better than them. And and then saying that Shakur should be the top guy in the Ring magazine, 135-pound rankings, and mad about that, and saying that Tank shouldn't be number one, and that Zepada and Shakur should be fighting for the Ring magazine belt. Man, they shushed that nigga off on that shit when Eddie Hearn said that shit. They wasn't even worried about no Eddie Hearn saying that shit, man. Eddie Hearn, bro, you don't got no clout like that with Turkey, bro. He got Dana White, bro. He don't give a fuck about you either. You just another expendable guy he was using. You know what I'm saying? And he used you to get Shakur because it looked like Shakur probably locked in with Turkey a little bit longer than what people portray and talk about for real, bro. That's what it looked like to me. You know what I'm saying? It looked like he got an extended deal and is with Turkey out the Sheik along with Bud Crawford over there. So Shakur continues to put roadblocks in between the Tank Davis fight. Why Sh- fucking Turkey Al Sheik mentioning a fight for Shakur with Tank Davis when we all know Tank don't fuck with Turkey. Tank don't fuck with Eddie Hearn. He don't fuck with either one of them guys. So what's the point of even mentioning Tank name? So they can cloud chase and try to sell their fight. Because if you see the whole build up with Shakur Stevenson, what he's doing right now with Zepeda, what he's been doing the previous fight, who he gonna talk about in all his interviews, who gonna be the caption of the thumbnails and videos and live streams from Shakur, all about Tank Davis. He can't talk about Zepeda and sell his own fight because he feel like the fans don't give a fuck about Zepeda and they don't care about Zepeda. He got to talk about Tank Davis because that's the only person they feel worthy of him to talk about and want to hear Shakur talk about. Shakur's on a whole run right now, cloud chasing off of Tank Davis' name throughout the whole time, mentioning him talking about fighting Jake Paul and shit. Like, bro, which is that? I mean, y'all motherfuckers get so caught up in Jake Paul the other day in the damn interview at this press conference talking about, oh yeah, me and Tank possibly in November, bro. He's trolling, bro. They ain't fighting, bro. Like y'all Monster fans, y'all trying to run with that shit. Like y'all Shakur fans and Haney fans, y'all trying to run with that little bullshit from Jake Paul and think that shit is fucking green and and all of that. No, bro, that ain't facts, bro. That ain't happening, bro. They would never want to fight, bro. Look at the weight class, bro. They ain't even near the same weight class. Fucking Jake Paul weigh over 100 pounds more than Tank, bro. Like, so shut the fuck up. That's why I said you won't even hear me talk about that Jake Paul shit much for real. And I won't even argue that shit because it's cap and is irrelevant to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all only trying to use that as a talking point to fucking hide the fact that Shakur Stevenson ducked Tank Davis last year. Yeah. What happened to Shakur won the fight last year when he got called upon from Tank Davis and PBC? No, he tucked his tail and went over there to Eddie Hearn and match room. I'm going to continue to tell you this every day. Like every day, I promise you, every day. Like no fucking way that y'all can sit here and be talking about Tank Davis fighting Jake Paul, Shakur. He in there talking about it in his interviews and all of this, and then Shakur, you got offered a fight last year, dude. Why you ain't want to fight? Oh, you wanted a multi-fight deal, and you wanted to go over there and fight for Eddie Hearn over there and fight Joe Cordina, a guy that was calling you out 2 years and shit when you was at 130. Y'all move fucking Joe Cordina up to 135 after he come off a knockout loss. Y'all move him up to 135. Motherfucker Eddie Hearn pays for Joe Cordina to be in the rankings coming off a knockout loss at 130 to be in the rankings at 135 for the WBC sanctioned body. That's how deep that shit is. Like people don't understand that shit. Ace Austin, honestly, they just want to hold on to that J Paul shit to paint Tank a duck. But in reality, they are jealous that Tank can get that big bag and they can't. Facts. That's another good take right there, bro. Beautiful take right there, and that's definitely the pure fact of that shit, bro. They're using this shit, and they're mad because Tank can do what he want in boxing. Everything that Tank has, Shakur, Keyshawn, Devin Haney, all of these guys, they want what Tank has, but they don't want to fight him to take what he has. That's the whole fucking issue with it. Top Rank ain't about the, you know what I'm saying? We gonna see if Top Rank want to, give Keyshawn off the Tank, but motherfucking Keyshawn is one of the top rank top guys right now. Like he's holding the top rank flag right now. You know what I'm saying? You seen what they did with Keyshawn. They didn't cut his dress off and put a suit on his ass and told him to go out there and start saying, "You the businessman." like shit like that, bro. Y'all gotta read the room, man. Gotta read the room, dog. For real. But the crazy part, even with motherfucking Tank, being mentioned from Turkey in the press conference, Tank team, they come out immediately and shuts down working with Turkey immediately. And Turkey is trying so hard. Like he got Canelo already. He bought out Canelo. He want Tank because he's tired of dealing with these B-side ass fighters. He's tired of dealing with these B-side ass fighters that don't want to fight, that want to run and don't want to fight. He's tired of dealing with them. Like, and he see the feedback from the whole culture of boxing the last couple of weeks. We talking about these fights like, bro, y'all motherfuckers got to fight, bro. All of this boxing track star shit is not helping the sport. It's hurting the sport badly. Like that shit put a real bad stain on the sport a couple weeks ago with these guys being on their boxing track star shit, not wanting to fight and engage. That's not boxing, bro. That's not the sweet science, bro. You know what I'm saying? Being defensive and not having no offense is not the sweet science of boxing. I need some of you Shakur and Devin fans to understand that. Like that's not what we doing up here. You feel me? Like like we want to be entertained. That's not entertainment. Like all defense, no offense is not entertainment in boxing. I don't know why y'all don't understand this shit. And motherfuckers, I see the Devin fans they up there talking like they still being delusional, talking about that on Devin and Wash Jose Ramirez. Like I'm gonna get to him because I seen this cigar talk interview from Bill Haney. Nasty work, nasty work. Bill Haney is literally the worst boxing dad in boxing, bro. Like he has that stamp, and that stamp would never be erased from him unless Brian Norman takes over on that shit because he on his fucking way. He on his way with his lying, contradiction, capping ass. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? This shit just nasty work from the dads, bro, in boxing. Like, we need more dads like Bozy and shit, man. Dads like Earl Spence Jr., you know what I'm saying? Senior, you know what I mean? Like Earl, you know what I'm saying? The Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we need more dads like that, bro. Like solid dads of boxing. Don't try to be all in the camera and try to take away from their sons, not emasculating their sons and shit. You know what I mean? Like that we need that more in boxing for real then. Cause these boxing dads like Bill Haney and Brian Norman Sr., they are hurting their kids' careers, to me, in my opinion. They hurting their careers. You know what I mean? Especially fucking Bill. Bill is hurting Devin career badly. Like, I don't even understand why he even on the promo run right now. That shit is crazy to me though. Like, but one thing that caught my eye though, like I was saying though, with the with this press conference though, Eddie Hearn, Dick eating them, Shakur, and bro, the Ring magazine, bro, the rankings, like y'all gotta think about it, bro. This man Turkey he don't fuck with Tank. He don't like Tank, but he won't Tank to fight for him. But then he still has Tank ranked number one in the rankings, though. Like, make this make sense. Make this make sense, bro. Like, they got what they got? They got Tank at one, Keyshawn Davis at two. Shakur Stevenson at three, Williams Zepeda at four, Raymond Muratala at five, Andy Cruz at six, which is just quick note. Andy Cruz, he's going to be fighting on the Richardson Hitchens and George Kambosos Jr. card June 14th, by the way. Just a little side note. Andy Cruz back in action June 14th on the Hitchens and Kambosos card. Number seven, Frank Martin, which is Frank Martin. Apparently, he moved up to 140, so I don't even know why he in the 135 rankings for real. Denise, which is Denise Brinchak, does not deserve to be in this 135 rankings. He is ass. Like Tevin Farmer at nine and Sam Noakes at 10. They took Lomachenko out of the Ring Magazine rankings. Kind of interesting. Maybe because of top rank, they keep insinuating that Loma's possibly going to retire and not come back to boxing in recent time. Um, Kind of interesting though. I mean, Lomachenko. This is my thing. Just to talk about Lomachenko real quick. If you ain't gonna fight, bro, go ahead and get that belt up, man. You holding up the division, man. Like, let us know if you ain't fighting. Just lay it down, man. You had a good career. You know what I'm saying? You went out on your last fight, stopping George Kambosos last year, and we good with it, man. No salute to Lomachenko, but you can't hold up the division, bro. If you're not gonna fight, bro, let motherfucking Miratala and whoever next up fight for that vacant IBF, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, actually, they would elevate Miratala since he won this past week, man. You know what I'm saying? So Miratala would be, the regular IBF champion if Lomachenko ends up retiring, which is, Lomachenko ain't no reason to hold up the division, bro. Like, this shit, we got to move on. We got to keep shit pushing. We need other fights at 135. The 135 division isn't as glamorous as it was, you know what I'm saying, maybe 2 years ago when, you had, guys like T.O. and Rowley and Devin and all of them guys. Some of them guys great bullies at the division, but that's a whole nother story. But, you know what I'm saying? Uh, yeah, man, Lomachenko, yeah, go ahead, man. If you ain't coming back, lay it down and give her the title, man. Let Raymond Muratala do his thing, and we move forward, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's other fights like Raymond Muratala and Keyshawn. Keyshawn, if he gets past Edwin De Los Santos, shit, you can maybe get a fight going with them two guys. Both of them guys, top ranked guys. It makes sense for that to happen. You know what I mean? Um, of course, Muratala Shakur. You know what I'm saying? Shakur get past the Pater and he don't end up fighting Tank, which is I'm just seeing right now, bro. Like, honestly, real shit, bro. Let me be real. I said this last night. Shout out to my boy Knockout Boxing 86 TV. I was in the in the comments, and I said this last night in the comments. I was like, bro, the way this shit set up, the way Shakur moving, bro, it's almost like we're never gonna get this daggone Tank versus Shakur fight. Like, I don't see we getting this fight for real, bro. The reason why I said I don't see us getting the fight, man, because Shakur continues to work with Eddie Hearn and work with Turkey Al Sheik, work with two guys that Tank Davis don't fuck with. And I'm just trying to understand the logic of like, why do these guys have to be involved for you to fight Tank? Why can't you do like Ryan Garcia did and go straight for Tank and not try to middleman, promoters and other people in between a fight with Tank Davis? Why can't you do like Lamont Roach and go straight for the Tank fight and not try to sign with another company that possibly won't be able to try to make the fight and want to give him the fight? You know what I'm saying? Like it makes it makes no logical sense at all. Like like Jag Queen Boxing, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta say this, Jag Queen Boxing says, hey, your live stream the other day was crazy. Like I was so amazed at how you was cooking up on there, sis. Like your cook up was crazy on there. And you definitely you got it, bro. You got it for real, sis. For real. Like you got it, man. We gonna talk about it though. But yeah, bro, it leads me to think for real how Shakur moves that he never really wanted this fight with Tank Davis from the first place. He pump faking, like him talking about no, should talking about Tank shouldn't fight Lamont Roach. He possibly might lose that fight, and it's gonna fuck up the fight for me, bro. What you mean? You had the chance to take a one fight deal and fight Tank straight up last year, and you didn't even want to continue the negotiations with the fight. What are you talking about, bro? Like, come on. Like, come on with the logic of this shit. Like, this shit pissed me off for real. And because Shakur sits there and try to pushes the reason of the Tank fight not happening on Tank when it's on him. If you want the fight, you could have took it last year in 2024. If you want the fight, go straight to the plug instead of trying to fuck with the middleman. Like Shakur, he remind me of one of them niggas that was selling weed and shit back in the day. Oh, it's a quarter lick and shit. He, you know what I'm saying? He got this dude that won a quarter, and then he go holler at this man that's selling ounces and pounds and shit, and fucking gets the quarter and sells the fucking quarter bag to the dude himself and take $5, $10 off top. You know what I'm saying? He remind me of a middleman weed or weed dealer, bro. For real, that's what Shakur reminds me of. He wants to have the middleman be among handling real business, bro. And that shit don't dwell well with me. That shit, that the logic of that is fucking stupid. Like, if you want something, go to the plug, go to the source. Why try to go through a middleman through everything? He didn't do that shit when he had Oscar Valdez. He didn't do that shit with Jamal Herring. He didn't do that shit with De Los Santos. Like, bro, he going straight direct with them guys, but he can't go straight direct with Tank, and because he want to be the guy. Oh, we gotta talk on the phone. Let's talk like Earl and Bud. Newsflash, Shakur, you're not Bud Crawford. Tank ain't Earl Spence. Tank is not giving up his A side leverage to a fucking low B side fighter that's fighting on two undercards, getting booed over there in Saudi Arabia. Can't even fucking main event in New York. Fucking 10 minutes away from New Jersey. Like, come on, be fucking real and logical, bro. Like, this shit just is mind blowing from Shakur. Like, I don't get the logic of him and the fan base of his, the 50 Shakur fans that it is out there. And no, I don't get the logic. If you want to fight Shakur, go straight to the plug, bro. Stop putting roadblocks and putting people that Tank don't fuck with to get the fight. And who's to say we don't want you to get the fight? You lose a Zepada, that shit dead. Shakur just really, in reality, he just another guy that's a part of the Tank Davis story. In reality, bro, he's just another guy, a part of the story. He ain't no guy that that's a threat to Tank Davis. He's not no real threat to Tank Davis. Shakur wants Lamont Roach to beat Tank Davis in his rematch, so he don't want to fucking fight him. He want Lamont Roach to win, so he won't have to fight him. Just like a lot of Tank's contemporaries. They don't want to fight Tank Davis for real. They hiding behind fighting these other fucking fights. They don't want to fight Tank Davis for real. Because if they want to fight Tank Davis, make your words match your actions. How about that? Salute Ringwalk Boxing Podcast, man. Hey, salute the family. Subscribe to Ringwalk Boxing Podcast. That's family over there. Amazing with the boxing content, man. And they live every Sunday at 6 p.m. Yeah, if you want the Tank Davis fight, go straight to Tank. Make your words match your actions. I don't give a damn about you calling Tank Davis out. I don't. I give a damn about what's happening behind the scenes in these offers, these negotiations. That's what I care about. I don't give a fuck about a call out. That's all y'all measure everything by is call outs. Oh, Shakur called Tank out. He called Tank out. Oh, so what about when Tank called Shakur about fight last year? Oh man, he said he wanted a multi-fight deal. Oh, well, Tank and them was offering a one-fight deal for Shakur to fight him straight up. Oh man, he want a multi-fight deal. Why can't PBC give him a multi-fight deal? No, PBC just want to Tank to fight fucking Shakur one fight and move on to the next guy. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, we need a multi-fight deal.